Hi, everybody. Wanted to do a quick recording so that I could explain why we're studying emotional intelligence in SEL, social emotional learning, and how important it is. There's something that's a little confusing here. I want to explain that we talk about emotional intelligence. It's related to SEL, social emotional learning, because we're doing the social emotional learning so that we can achieve emotional intelligence or raise our level of emotional intelligence. So they're completely connected, but they're used a little bit, they mean something a little bit different from each other. Why is it so important? And we're taking a whole week on this. I mean, it's a lot of time. It's very important because if you don't get this together, you're not going to be a very good teacher. There's no doubt about it. Because you talk about connecting with kids. You're not going to do that unless you are aware of yourself. You just won't. Let me give you an example. I was in a classroom in the city, probably 8th grade. I think it was around 8th grade science class. And I was with some of my students. We're sitting in the back of the room and we're observing, walking around a little bit. And there was this one girl up in the front, and she was sort of like this, like hiding. She got a pencil, and she was like off to the side and trying to just be invisible. She wanted to see her, and she was sending out vibes that weren't good. I mean, like stay away from me. I don't want you to come near me. That kind of a thing. Feel it, and everyone's just looking at me like, oh my God, look at her. What is she? They were afraid of her. Everybody was afraid of her, and I felt all of that. I felt all of that. But I also have the knowledge that she is working on me. She is putting out these feelings intentionally so that I stay away from her. Not because she doesn't want anyone to come around her. I'm not sure why, but I knew that if I could approach her, I could win her over. And so I got up and I started walking over to her. And I'll tell you, I was like, this weird fear, like she's going to reject me or say something nasty to me or what, a million things that could happen. So I go over to her and I can't remember what I said, but I just kind of bent over and said, what are you working on? And I sat there for a minute and just talked to her. She started smiling. And she responded to me, and it was like magic, but not, because I'm a skilled teacher, and I know that students want to push away a lot of times. But we're the grown-ups, we're the adults in the room, so we can't let that happen. But in order to not let that happen, you have to have a pretty high EQ, because you've got to be confident that you can walk up to that kid and break through this. It's all emotions. You got to walk up and break through this. You have to learn to do that. So that's just one example. There's a million examples. So I hope that we could get a lot out of this. I tried to construct this whole week's work so that you are not, I'm not saying you have to do this and you have to do that, you're going to write a paper. No, I want you, there's a few things that I put up that I do want you to definitely read or look at. But basically, I want you to kind of rummage around in the materials that I've provided and see where you go with it. See what's interesting to you. Go beyond it. You don't need to just stick to what I told you to do. Find some other things and share with the class, whatever. And the journal, I'm looking to not be academic here. I want us to, this is about feelings, and I want you to come and understand your emotions, yourself a little bit, be able to control them, etc. Okay. And so this is yours. I hope you enjoy it, because I have really enjoyed putting this together. I've read so much and learned a whole lot. So you will too. We'll see you. Bye-bye.